Welcome to Alchemy Avenue, where we transform in real time, trust the vibe, and grow on purpose. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement, a reminder that you don't need fixing, just unlocking. Around here, we laugh, we build, we heal, and we elevate, all powered by that deep inner knowing that says, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. You were made for this version of you, so let's expand, let's enjoy it, and let's keep becoming who we already are. Tap in. This is Alchemy Avenue. Welcome to another episode of Alchemy Avenue. I'm your host, David. Hope you're doing well. I hope today and all the other days have been moving especially pacific and grand how you wanted them to in every way that you can think about. That's my expectation and that's my prayer for how I see us moving throughout this whole life. So welcome. It's another great episode. Today we're going to focus on the men today. What I want to empower and impart and really drop into myself as well. Is just understanding for us as men and only for us that's ready to remember. What does that look like for us to take care of ourselves? What does that look like for us to be in a space where love for ourselves is just natural? It's a natural state. So let's start like this. I don't want us to think about us fixing ourselves. I don't even want to think about it like that because we're not broken. We're not something that needs to be fixed. We're something that needs to be balanced and recalibrated. When remembering the truth about who we already are, because it's already there. We just got to dig through and move some things around to better see that polish, that poise, that confident man that's already inside of us. This episode is going to be tailored to who's been carrying it, like for all the men that's been carrying it all, but finally wants to carry himself. So you've been doing everything for everybody and looking out and trying to understand, because the way men think, and this is just from my experience, one, doing what I do as a husband and a father, and then talking to other men, we're always thinking about and I always say things in a full circle. So whatever situation that comes from A to Z, we're trying to think about the whole part of it. And that's a lot. That's a lot at times, because now some of us get into the space where we can anticipate, or we can try to anticipate what may happen to somebody or what could happen. And then we're already trying to plan, okay, this happened, I need to do this, then they'll be good, or they should be good. So that's for some men, actually for a lot of men, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of, I got to make sure everybody's good by doing that, especially if you got family, few kids, one kid, and you may got parents and other people that you step in for. Sometimes the sacrifice is yourself. You end up sacrificing who you are and sacrificing taking care of yourself because you're so focused on, I got to do this for everybody. I got to do this. So a lot of us are tired of the performing strength and are ready to live in power. So that's that. A lot of times it gets thrown around that what can you do? And I think sometimes too, we kind of set that up in our relationships when we first meet women. We first meet them and we do a lot. We're in this space of performative because we think that's just how we were taught. Like, I got to do, and she will see my value and see my worth, which is fine if you coming from a place where you already know your value. So now you're not doing these things for validation. Like, oh, I got to do this, or if I do this, she will do something for me, or she will not even, because a lot of men don't really care if you say good job to a certain degree. They just want things to be in a space where they feel validated. Like I said, it may not be, just a simple good job. Maybe just a simple, I did this, you do that kind of thing. But every man is different now. Every man is different. So, and then also for the man who's done dimming his light to be accepted in a room he's meant to redesign. Let me unpack that. So a lot of us make ourselves small. We make ourselves small in situations. And I'm not saying in a space where we want to be arrogant and make people feel uncomfortable because we're so rah-rah about ourselves. No, no, no. Quiet power speaks louder than a rah-rah or a very boisterous kind of person. And I'm not, and I gotta unpack some of the things because I don't want people to think that if you are really charismatic and you're really funny and outgoing, I'm not talking about that. Be that, especially the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you talk, the way you move about is really, big, but still you come from a place of, because to me it's all about where you're coming from with anything you do, anything. And that matters. So you be able to, because people should be able to, I don't care, in my opinion, I don't care what you say about yourself and what you believe. If people are scared to be around you, to me that's will and power that you can balance and transform to something different. Well, people don't have to be scared. They should respect you, especially if you got because I've been around men that just command like a real reverence. You know what I mean? They command like a respect, and they're not doing anything out the way. It's just how they are, how they move about themselves. I could tell definitely. Okay, he's definitely somebody that's worked on himself, has been in a space where traumas and triggers don't necessarily show up like they used to. They still show up. Anything that we talk about today, I'm not negating the fact that you're still going to have things come up. But so now instead of being really reactive, you're super proactive. And when I mean super proactive, I always say like you're like 30,000 feet above the situation. So now you see all the pieces, and you may choose still to, come at somebody or do what you need to do to, rectify the situation. But now you have more of a choice in the situation. So now I can see, okay, this is all the pieces. This is how I need to move, instead of instantly, boom, flipping out. Oh my God. So now you got to apologize. You may say stuff you didn't mean to say. No. Let's get to a space where things come and we can digest it and say, okay, all right, okay, boom. All right, well, let me do this. But this is just the internal conversation you're having with yourself. This isn't about masculinity in the world and how the world views masculinity. We're not talking about that. It's about a masculinity your soul came here to embody, the sacred high level masculinity, allowing us to, again, be master thinkers, but also master feelers as well, and how to use because no matter how masculine you may say you are and think you are, you still have feelings. So what do you do with those feelings? That's what I mean. I don't care I'm this guy, I'm a, meat and potatoes kind of guy. Right. You still have feelings. You still feel a way about situations. Now, you may, bury the feelings, but you still have them. You cannot say you don't feel a way about certain situations. But what do you do with that? Especially when situations happen and they don't really align with how you feel. So we're going to unpack that today. And we're talking about self-love, emotional freedom, rest. I think rest is one of the bigger things that I see just talking to men and just having regular conversation. Rest. And I'm not talking about just, going to sleep. Yes, because your body needs to recalibrate, but allowing your mind to be in a state where it's calm. So I think we're always here. If we can just allow our mind to at least come down, less processing, more peace in whatever situation that can be, I think that helps us be a better person. Because now our mind is more clear. Our mind, we have more of a sound mind to be able to make decisions. Because a lot of us do make a lot of decisions, or have to make a lot of decisions, or have to think about different things that go on in our family and our dynamics. All of us, a lot of us, especially the ones that have families and are in a space where it's a lot going on all the time. Even though you may not be doing some of the things, because like I'm married and I don't do a lot of the day to day anymore because my schedule changed, so I'm not available during the day. But still being able to be at a space where, okay, she's gonna be doing this. Can I help out? If I can, how do I help out? Can I take something off? Or just being in a space where you just help and organize the day to day. Like I was saying, we're talking about self-love from an emotional freedom space, rest, clarity, and real joy. Let this episode be a breath, a mirror, and a moment to choose yourself again. Tap in, and as we continue to go forth, we just continue to build and be, very intentional about how we navigate from this space on. I may not be saying stuff you haven't heard before, but I want to be someone that can just help you understand that I'm there and I've been there, and how to kind of get over that hump. Because walking around stressed and just being mad or just angry or not in a good space mentally, I'm telling you, it causes a lot of stuff on your body once you get in that space, and we'll go through that as well. So, how we as men strengthen and love ourselves for life, not for a moment, not for it's my birthday, or I just got a promotion, or any of those external things. No, just for life. Let's just allow us to think about that. How we as men can be strengthened and love ourselves for life. Let's just unpack that. So using love as a natural state. So natural is just there. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does, even no matter what we do. I mean, we are not perfect people, so we do make mistakes and we do have challenges. And how do you still love yourself and understand that you're still valued even after you do those things? Redefine self-love not as a task, but as a way of being rooted in self-respect, authenticity, and inner leadership. Using love and self-love more specifically, and not making it a task. So not making it super regiment. Like, I got to do this, then I'll feel good. No. Let's allow ourselves the ability to feel great and amazing, regardless of what happens or what things line up. If we feel great and amazing, no matter what, granted, we may have moments during the day that challenge and put us in a place where, okay, let me recalibrate. Yes, I'm not saying that's not going to happen. Every day it's not going to be, roses every single day or all throughout the day. But if we're in a place where we love ourselves and we're in a place where we can see the value in ourselves, then we can see the situation and then better respond in a more balanced way. That just helps. It just helps with anything that we do. But as a way of being rooted in self-respect, gotta respect yourself. You respect yourself, more people will respect you. Even the people that you think should respect you. Because a lot of us have that thought, man, they don't respect me. I'm doing all this and they don't respect me. Respect yourself first. Start with you. People only can treat you the way you treat yourself. Respect yourself, care for yourself. And this one too is big. This is big right here. Authenticity. So being your authentic self. And this is funny. So A lot of us, and we don't show this side much, a lot of us are real goofy and real silly. And a situation may happen where you show that side. You may have showed a little bit of it. You may have showed, and it may not be the person you even with right now. It may have been somebody down the line and from your past, and you showed your silliness. You showed your goofy side, and they looked at you and was like, "What you doing?" Or they had a response that you didn't think that you should have got, and you like, "Man, I ain't never doing that again." I get it. But look, we gotta still be our full, authentic self. If you like certain things, do that. I mean, especially if it's not hurting nobody, if it's something that brings you joy. I mean, you gotta do it because you want to do it anyway. What's wrong with that? If you want to, and even if, and this is funny too, being your authentic self. Even if 10 years ago you used to do stuff to have fun, and now you want to get into something different or something else piques your interest, and you may not like the other stuff no more. It's okay to evolve and change. That is okay. It's okay. It's okay for you to be in a space where you don't, like I said, you don't like or don't want to do that thing you used to do. You can change and you can expand and you can grow. It's all it's about. It's fine that you are not the person you were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a month ago. It's cool. It's cool. You allowing us to have that space of growth and expansion. And again, if you with somebody, then if they care about you enough, they will see the growth. But again, you can't, a lot of times we can't harp on what others, even the people that's very, very close to us, we can't harp on how they view certain things, especially if it's something that we like to do and it's fun for us. Because you want to do it. Only thing that's going to make you do is resent yourself for not doing it. Or you're going to say, dang, I knew I should have did that. Or I knew I should have X, Y, and Z. That's what you're going to end up saying. And when you say those things, that just puts you in a space where you're like, yo, man, I'm tripping. I knew I should have, or man, I knew I should. But these aren't even conversations you're having with nobody. These are conversations or thoughts you're having within. You're thinking, oh, I should have done that, or I should have, took that walk, or I should have, did just whatever it is. Find space to do it, and even better, find a space to communicate why you want to do it. Because once you're okay with it within yourself, then you'll be able to communicate it better. Sometimes we can't communicate certain things because we really haven't processed it in our brain, and we can't explain it like, okay, I did used to like to do this, now I like to do this, and why? Because we haven't internally been okay with it. Like, man, am I tripping? Am I supposed to like this now? But I don't even like to do that no more, which is, again, that's perfectly fine. Also, we have to understand that, and all that, so authenticity and everything we just went through, that just helps the inner leader in us. Because if we can lead ourselves, then that's the first person that we need to lead in the first relationship that we need to do. We can lead ourselves well, then our family, work, and everything else we do will fall into place because we got a baseline, because you take care of yourself. Not saying you're going to be perfect. And what's perfect anyway? What's perfect? Find where you are okay to be loved by you. Find that space. Find that space. And when you find that space, I'm telling you, the way things open up for you, you will, and I'm only saying this from, experience, the way things open up for you, the way that you handle situations, your clarity, your vision, your leadership will definitely improve from where you used to be to where you are now. Reflect on how societal pressures once tried to distort masculinity and how true strength is in nurturing yourself. So, how societal pressures once tried to distort masculinity. And I want to come from it from this place because a lot of us, even though we may have fathers, we may have, grandfathers and uncles that we've seen in our family, a lot of us didn't see them necessarily handle situations well, or they were so lopsided on one end that their health, suffered, or something happened to them that it was like, I would never thought that would happen to uncle such and such, or damn, my pops went through this. Because a lot of times they don't, the older generation not gonna tell you anything, like far as like them personally, something that happened to them, unless something, at least from my experience, unless something tragic happened to them, and that opened them up, like, wow, okay, I need to make a switch. Then they may be more prone to share. But a lot of times, us as kids, seeing our family, because that's kind of who trains us and helps us with how we form the way we view life. Once you get in a space where you seen that, and then now you start to implement some of those things, that's not necessarily how, because the world that they grew up in is not the world that we're in right now. The way our parents parent us, and they're, I say, from mid-20s to their 40s, is completely different than it is now. So how do you adapt? How do you use those tools that you may have learned to be in a space where you able to be a better man? And I don't even want to say better, because I think everybody is in a space where they did the best they can do, especially if they were really trying. Sometimes we got to see that as children. Once we get older, that, man, at least me, I've seen, I was like, wow, they were literally doing the best they could with the situations that I know now, and just going through that stuff at the ages and stages some of my parents went through. Oh yeah. But a lot of us haven't. So that's just a family aspect of it. Now we talking about societal pressures, and you're supposed to work, be the leader, provider, especially if you come from church. You're supposed to be the provider, protector, and you're supposed to be all those things. But who is that for you? You got to be it for yourself. You got to be that for yourself first. Once you're that for yourself first, then it's not saying it's easy, it's easier to be able to show that to other people. Because once you have provided, protected, cared, nurtured, and been in a space where you can do that for yourself, then you have more of a blueprint. But to get to that space, though, you have to go through so much, us as men, to be able to get to that space, because you got to dig through childhood traumas, external expectations from either your parents, society, and especially if you are, not especially, but in men of all different grades. So if you was an athlete, there's different kind of pressures that you as an athlete you faced, as being a man, a strong man, an athletic man, or even if you were athletic, academic, there's different kind of pressures and different things that you are that shape your reality of what masculinity looks like. Or if you was just a street dude, what does that look like? If you was out there like that, if you was poor, and then you got to add that into that as well. So all those factors make up how you view masculinity, and that's something you gotta be able to understand for yourself. How do I view masculinity, and is it healthy? Let me just unpack that. And this is just you talking to yourself, like, or writing it down, however you do. Understanding, how do I view masculinity? Is it healthy? Is it positive? Is it constructive for me to be this way, and then still be in a space that I can grow, and I'm with people, family, girlfriend, wife, and then even your other family. Like, how does that look when your idea of masculinity is skewed, or if it's in a place of just growth? So that's something we have to always thinking about. And then how true strength is nourishing and nurturing ourselves. That is the biggest thing. Again, it's all going. Everything I talk about is all going to come back to you doing the work on in you. Because I don't believe anything's outside of you. You're doing the work in you, and then that helps with how you view the things that are outside of you. And then you're open enough to allow more of the things you want. Because I can't say what you want versus what I want is good or bad. I'm not. That's not my job to categorize what's good for you and what's great for you and what's amazing for you. You figure that out, and you walk into that. You walk in it with confidence and power. But you, in my opinion, the inner work is what's more helpful than anything that you could buy, anything that you can do. So doing the inner work. So I mean, for me, and then I'll give a couple of examples. The way that I try to show up for myself. So when I'm not, well, actually my schedule changed. So I try to get up 5 o'clock in the mornings. I meditate. That's just me. And then I also meditate throughout the day. Meditation helps me a lot. Still, I may say things or I may come off real strong sometimes, but for the most part, that helps me with how I just deal with everything that's going on, get in the meditative state and just kind of unpack what things have been going on, especially early in the spiritual journey I've been on, has helped me really, dissect and understand my traumas and triggers. So meditation is good for me. I like to work out. I try to work out, 3 times a week. I like, especially when the weather break, or even sometimes even in the colder weathers, I like to go. We have a lake here that's like it's a 7-mile trail around the lake. I like to go do that, or I may not do all 7, but I'll at least try to go, do 3 or 4, at least 4. Always, if I'm by myself, I always do about 4 miles. So I like that. That helps me stay, calm and clear. I like to, do the stuff I like to do. I like to, laugh. I like to, I don't really be out like that, but I like to go places and also have fun, with people. So I try to do the things that make me smile, even if it's just for 10 minutes of the day, or I'll sit back and think of something. Okay. Or I just, the main thing that I do, this is just kind of just, I work to this. The main thing that I do, I'm so appreciative of my life that I just sit back and smile and be in a space of gratitude. Just be in a space of gratitude. Because I just know, even the things that are challenging or may come, that I already know that's going to work out. I already know. So, I try to make time for, I like to do art, like I do, light language and other things. So I like to do custom frames. I try to do the stuff that I like to do. Whatever that is for you, do it. Find time, because I'm telling you, a lot of times, I may have said this on last episode, a lot of times, but this goes perfect for men. A lot of times when we get frustrated at certain things, it's because we did not do something that we wanted to do for ourselves, and we could have did it. We could have just said, hey, well, I'm not going to be able to do that, and I'm going to do what I want to do for myself. Or, can I do that later? Prioritizing yourself. If you really want to do something, and then somebody asks you to do something, we feel obligated to, especially depending on who it is too. Again, it's just about effective communication. Once we can do that, and then now we can do what we want to do, even if it's not going to be that long. If we want to play the game for like 30 minutes or an hour, okay, let me do that. Or if we wanted to go walk, or we wanted to go to the store and look at some fishing rods, or we wanted to go bowling or something, anything, whatever that is, we can go do it and then get back to the business of everything else that we got going on in life. So taking time for ourselves is thoroughly important. So building real resilience and emotional strength. Exploring resilience as a byproduct of deep self-awareness. awareness. So being resilient, just being able to stand on your 10 toes and just being in a space where I got it. I got it. This situation happens. Okay, boom. I can navigate through it. But in my opinion, you only feel that comfortable is because you've done some of the work. Because once you start doing some of the work, oh, do trust. You're gonna get to a space where you're like, man, I don't want to pull this up. I don't want to think about this. But once you kind of work through those little things and you start seeing things change in your life, you're gonna be, I'm telling you, once you start and you continue and be consistent with doing the work, the way that you handle things and the way that things come and open up for you in positive ways, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to be like, wow, this, and then the feeling's going to feel so foreign. You're going to be like, wow, it's too much stuff. Because you're going to think, so you've been in a space of, fight or flight, and you're going to think, oh, everything's going too good. Something's about to break down. And then nothing does. Or even if it does, the solution to whatever situation just comes up like boom. And you're like, wow. I'm telling you, once you start to do the work and you start to feel better about yourself and more confident in how you move and operate, I'm telling you, the way things open up for you are amazing. So that's the resilient part of it. It says, again, that's what I'm talking about. That's why it's a byproduct of self-awareness, because you just know. Like, not saying anything happens to anybody else, but if something happens to me or happens around me, oh, I know. I got it. I got it. And not just pushing through. So not just, oh, okay, yeah, I'm all right. It's going to be okay. I mean, it is going to be okay. But understanding and knowing it's going to be okay. Again, that's just stages in the process. Because you think things are going to be okay. Then you believe things are going to be okay. And then for me, you just know, but there's no shadow of a doubt that things are going to be okay. How this needs to work out, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. So let's also talk about one thing that's been going around to emotional intelligence and vulnerability to open the door to stronger, richer connections. So again, like I talked about earlier, your feelings and your emotions, you can be the most strong man that you can be. You still have them. Again, if you bury them, okay. But that doesn't allow you to deal with how you feel and why you feel the way you feel. So then you're not snapping and you're not in a space like, again, where you just so reactive to situations. Now you're being more proactive. So understand emotional intelligence, how to understand why you feel how you feel, and then to be able to take that and then put that where it needs to be. Because if you do need to voice yourself, how do you voice yourself? Being direct and coming from love, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Some people may not like that just because the topic. Because sometimes you can tell people something, and it doesn't matter how you say it, but because you're telling them how they feel, how that whatever happened made you feel, and it may not be a positive way you felt. Again, being okay that you got that out, and you came from the best place that you could come, far as calm and clear, being clear. Then you cannot take on how someone takes that if you come from that space. You can't. They may still be mad. They may still be upset. They may not still want to hear it. That's fine. But I have to tell you how I feel. I have to be able to get this off my chest. And normalizing seeking support when needed from a place of empowerment and not weakness. At this part, I still deal with like understanding like who do I talk to, because I'm talking all about self, and as I do meditation and I have a good relationship with my depending on what you believe, God, spirit team, however you view the other realms and everything. I have a really great relationship, but understanding too, because we're human. I'm not a big escape. I'm not at all. I'm not a escapism kind of person. Like, I'm so spiritual that I just want to leave the 3D realm. I mean, I'm here, so I might as well be in a space where I can make this into the best experience every second, every minute. So, but me trying to find people, or even, the people closest to me, being able to unpack, how I feel about certain things. Something I still, just working on. Just, again, it's one day at a time, one day, one step at a time. And because sometimes you don't have people that you even feel will even understand what you're saying. And when you're at that space, it's hard to try to dumb down, at least in your mind, in my mind, at least I say that in my mind, you don't want to dumb down what you're feeling to better explain it. You want to just be able to say how you want to say it. And then, but again, this is about being a better communicator, finding ways to, if you're going to share, how to share. Okay, I'm feeling like this. And even if you got, other fellas you can talk on, the quality, I say quality, of a quality fellas to talk to about certain situations, and it can kind of give you a different perspective on looking at it, and good advice. So that's something that we don't need to see as a weakness, because you don't know everything. You don't. It's like, even with, me meditating, and I get a lot of different, downloads and different things, it's still nice to be able to bounce something off somebody that's here in the physical. Because again, your perspective, their perspective may help you, harmonize with, okay, this is what I had got doing meditation. And okay. And then, because you always have help. We just got to realize and be open to it. So, and let's transition to honoring the physical body as a sacred vessel. Now, this can be challenging, because the way we do work and the way that we do go throughout the day, sometimes it's hard to, eat how you want to eat, or be in a space where you're drinking enough water and you're doing those things. Like, I try to go to the gym 3 times a week, and some people are like, well, that's not enough. I mean, for you, it may not be enough, but for me, I'm not going to hold myself hostage or prisoner because I can't go 5 days a week. That's just me at this point right now, and maybe I may better get to that stage. But I'm gonna do what I know I can do and be thoroughly happy at that. So being in a space where we're honoring our body and listening to our body too. Some of us don't listen until our body's screaming at us. No, that's just listen before that happens, before something catastrophic happens, something that that tells us, okay, the body's gonna let you know with a whisper, okay, hey, you need to chill out, or stop eating that, or calm down on that, stop drinking so much. And then it's gonna start yelling. Once it starts yelling, then something's gonna happen. So it's being in a space where we know what to do. You just gotta understand how to do it, and being confident enough that you are your biggest ally. You know you, because you take you everywhere you go. So understanding how our body is speaking to us, and how, us being active and moving, stretching, doing those kind of things that helps us, help our body, because we got this, and this is the one we got for this particular, life. And we got to take care of it. We got to do whatever that is for you. Take care of your body. So, encouraging sustainability, life-giving practices over extremes. Pushing approaches, reflecting on breaking generational patterns around health, strength, and longevity. So just understanding that, even though we may seem our uncles and our fathers and other men that were close to us in our life move a certain way just with their body, doesn't necessarily mean what has happened to them is going to happen for us. Being in a space where we can control and be more intentional about how we move with our body. Because I got a lot of older gentlemen that, I just know, and they tell me, well, David, this hurts and this is hurt. This is like this, but you'll see. You live long enough, you'll see. You live long enough, you'll see. And I do see some of the struggles they have physically, mentally. A lot of times when we're out, I see a lot of older men with canes, walkers, oxygen, moving real slow. And the wives are just, bubbly, giddy, moving really well. So I don't want, not saying they made bad choices. I'm not even, holding in resistance of what they went through for their path. I'm not, but I'm using that as an example. Like, okay, I don't want to be like that. I still want to be able to move well in my 70s and 80s and 90s. And I still want to be able to, move around and be happy, with how I can navigate it and move life. So that's just something we need to focus on, or I believe we need to focus on, just so we can continue just to love ourselves. Because it's all that is just self-care. So again, we kind of going back to like, what do we do with downtime? Reframing downtime as a sacred space. Redefine downtime as a essential, energetic recalibration, not laziness. Again, let me say that again. Refine downtime as essential, energetic recalibration. That part I think we need to focus on. When you're resting, when you're, again, trying to be in a space where, okay, I've been doing a lot and I'm irritable and I'm not as calm. Take some time for you. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to move anyway. Because if you don't take no time for you, you're going to always be mad, always be in a space where, oh, I should have did this for myself. Well, I knew I should have did that, like we talked about earlier. So understanding that energetic recalibration is what rest is for. Because why wouldn't you want to be happy, smiling, and be in a space where you can be with your loved ones and be at your work or whatever you do, and be in a space where you feel happy about doing that, no matter what your situation is. I try not to hold any resistance to any job or anything I have, even though I may not necessarily want to do it anymore, but I still didn't hold any resistance. So now I'm just always in a good mood, always happy, always ready to, do whatever I need to do. Again, because I always know better is coming. But taking rest, taking yourself in a space where you can recalibrate and just rethink, okay, boom, boom, boom. Now you're more clear and better move forward. So, and understanding how to spend our downtime that's aligned with joy. Share our different kind of practices and hobbies that authentically refuel us. Creativity, exploration, nature, and I think a big one is silence. Even if you gotta sit in the car. Sit in the car. Play some music if you want to, or when you're driving in the car. I do this often. I don't play anything. I just sit there because I love music and I listen to music a lot. But sometimes I'm in the car, I don't play any music. I cut the power off to the sound and just drive. Just see, okay, where am I at? I can ask myself, where am I at? How do I feel? I'm good? Okay, yeah, I'm good. What do I feel about this? Got this going on. Am I clear about it? Am I okay? To me, that's a really good way to not cheat, but again, you gotta maximize your moments. If you don't have a lot of moments, and if you're not like a morning person that's gonna get up earlier, then meditate before you go to bed. Meditate before you lay down. But being in a space where anything you do is gonna be aligned with joy. You should be happy that you can play the game, go outside, work out, meditate, paint, draw, build, whatever that is for you. You should be happy, and that should bring you peace. Even if you can do it only, for 30 minutes, an hour. If you do woodworking, if you build, and then a lot of us too, a lot of us like doing those things for ourselves. Woodworking, building, whatever that is. A lot of us like that. That right there, even though it's still work, but that still brings us joy. Just being in a creative space, because that's being creative. Being creative. So use that as that. Understand that that's still self-love and being in a space of joy. Balancing downtime and purposeful living. Because even though, like I mentioned, we still want to do those things, and I think we should do those things, you still got, everything else you have to do, per se, so understanding you got to still find time to those hobbies, those different things that you love to do. Find time to do them. Like, if you got to schedule it, sometimes you got to be so purposeful. You just got to schedule it and let everybody know, hey, Thursday at 6, I'll be doing this. How can we make this work? 'Cause that's what I want to do. Or Saturday mornings, I'm going to be here. I'm going to go fishing for, a few hours. Or I'm going to go work out. Or whatever that is. And I get it, sometimes we're tired. And then even what that looks like, hey, I want to sleep in tomorrow. How does that work? I'll get up at like, I don't know, whatever that time is for you. If you want to say I'm going to sleep because for me, sleeping in is like 9. Because I'm always up early. So if I can lay down to like 9, I'm good. I'm good without being interrupted. Oh yeah, I'm real good. So, but whatever that looks like for you, being intentional about, even like I say, if you got to set a time for it. Schedule it. That helps with everything. So just giving ourselves permission to let rest feel productive in a deeper, unseen way, building unseen roots of power. So being able to know that, I'm not being lazy. This is just productive rest. Because I need it. And I want it. And I'm not even going to say like, okay, maybe I just don't feel like doing nothing. Okay. But unpack that though for yourself. Am I sad about something? Am I unsure about something? Why am I not in a space where I don't feel like doing anything? If it's just rest, then cool. But still, knowing yourself enough that okay, this is more of I got something that I'm not happy about, or I'm not clear about. Let me unpack it for myself to see where I need to put the things. But that's while you're resting, that's what you could be doing. Another big thing too is our mental health. A lot of men in different areas, have some things going on in their mind that they can't really process from past, present, and even fearful for what could go on in the future. Our mind's very powerful, so we can create a lot of different scenarios in it, and allowing us to be overwhelmed by the situations that have come, that are present, and what we think could come. A lot of us can struggle with mental health. It's not avoiding suffering, but we use our ability for self-love and self-care as building spiritual stamina and presence. Being in a space where being happy right now, being happy that I am who I am right now, I am where I am right now. So now if I want that to look different, what do I do and how do I do it? We got to find that path for ourselves and find a way to, uplift ourselves for that. Recognizing when your inner world needs care. Again, self-care. Recognizing that, okay, like I just talked about, if I need rest and relaxation, and it's different than just normal, I want to rest. What is really going on? And to me, that's when you kind of do a self-check of yourself. Signs of like imbalance and emotional numbness, irritability, burnout, and isolation. That's what I mean. Why do I feel like I don't want to be around nobody? Some of us are just introverts, and we're extroverts when we have to be, but then our real persona is like, yo, we like to just chill, like to be, not around a lot of people, be around good people though. I much rather be around good people than a lot of people. That's just me. But at times I'm good at the house. I'm so good at the house. Back porch, front porch. Build a fire, just chill. I'm so good with that. So good with that. Like that makes me smile. That makes me smile. So, but yeah, just understanding what are we feeling and why are we feeling it, and then be able to unpack it. You don't have to. Then also we don't have to figure it all out at one time, because that's overwhelming in itself. Especially if you never thought about any of these items or never even tried to process anything, it's going to be a lot. So one step at a time. Take one thing. What happened today that made me feel okay? All right. Where did this come from? Where did this thought come from? So understanding that. So you just got to take your time and get in a place of empowering the choices to get support, normalizing if you want to go to therapy, if you have a group of brothers that you can, speak to, if you are in a spiritual space like church or anything, there's somebody there that can, help you, deal with the different things you're going through. And I mean, just having the emotional self-awareness of this is how I feel. Is this different than what I want to feel, and why do I feel the way I feel? So there's a lot of different ways that you can navigate that. Because again, some of us have been through lots of trauma, and we do not talk about it at all, and that shows up a lot of times for us, especially when we're isolated and we don't really want to be around people, and things come up that bring them more to the surface, because we'll bury it. But situations can happen where a form of whatever that trauma was shows up, and now it comes up, and we're like, oh my God, now I'm mad. And that, whatever the reaction is, it may not be mad. It may be self-harm. It may be anything. I'm not a therapist or anything, but that's just different things that I've seen, men go through and, try to help, some people that reach out to me, just understand different situations. So we just got to be there for ourselves so we can be there for each other. All right. So what steps can we do? Because for me, I like to have actionable steps in anything that we talk about. So it's not like, oh, you're showing me and telling me, but how can I do it? Yeah, it's cool. So creating rituals for self-alignment daily, all through the day. That's what I said. To me, I meditate. Even if I'm sitting in a restaurant, I'll just kind of take my time and kind of just unpack where I'm at in my mind and where I'm at emotionally and how I feel. I'll meditate when I'm at work, because I'm a manager of an auto shop. So while I'm building tickets and doing different things, I'll just get in a space of just meditation. It takes work to be able to meditate when you got people around and different things like that. So whatever ritual you want to create, if it's getting up and just sitting on the bed for 2-3 minutes and just being grateful for life, start doing that. The morning connection rituals, gratitude, breath work. Breath work is really, really good. And if you don't know what breath work is, that's breathing in and out certain amount of times and certain cadences, or certain number of times to just help your mind be clear and just kind of help your body process anything that's going on. Breath work is really, 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 really good. And then just do whatever you need to do throughout the morning and throughout the day, and then have yourself, I would say always, even if you can't do it in the mornings, always, to me, before you lay down, always have some kind of something you do. Like for me, I shower at night, and I have, during my shower time, I normally don't play music or anything while I'm in the shower. That's normally Another time I'm meditating and just using the flow of the water to help manifest and help, create whatever I'm trying to create. I use that time for that. And anything that you want to do at that time, if you got to reflect on the day, if you feel like you got to forgive anything, just honoring winning. Like, you should always be in a space, no matter what happens, that I'm going to win. I'm going to win. So cultivating emotional wealth, practical gratitude practices, conscious affirmations, joy audits, and find beauty in every day. Affirmations that you can say to yourself. The thing I always say to myself is, everything always works out for me, and nothing can make me happier than this very moment. That's something I say on a daily. So that's something that kind of keeps me in a place of gratitude. Infusing life with abundant joy. Pursue activities, relationships, experience that amplify laughter, ease, and connection. Again, we've already talked about that. Just being in a space of doing things that are joyful, connecting with, your higher self, God, however you want to frame it, but being in a space where you can laugh on the daily about just how happy you are with yourself and life. Visioning and evolving yourself, encouraging all of us to be architects of our lives, building practices that evolve with our daily life, because we're expanding always and we're thinking about doing the next thing, but being in a space where we're happy now, and then we can propel ourselves with power and passion to do the things we want to do, starting with the self-reflection every day, being in a space of, again, creating rituals in the morning and then doing stuff throughout the day, and definitely something before we lay down, and just being honest with yourself. If you be honest with yourself, then that helps you, pursue, and helps you step forward into those places where you're evolving. So let's use this power that we know we have to choose ourselves every single day, no matter what can happen. So you don't need more proof. You need more presence. You don't need more grind. You need more grace. Your healing doesn't make you soft. It makes you real. Let the world see a man who rests, who feels, who breathes, who leads with love. Let this mirror that we went through today show you the strength in choosing joy. You always had permission, but now you're claiming it. Walk like you know you're divine, because you are. Speak life in your voice will allow you to speak life in your voice, and that carries light. Care for yourself like your body is sacred ground. And when it gets heavy again, because things will happen and things are going to happen, come back to this truth. You are the safest place. You are the greatest ally. And you are already more than enough. Let me say that again. When things happen, when things come up, when things show up in places where you're like, man, this is getting hard, or whatever, say this or say something like this to yourself. You are the safest place. You are the safest place. You are your greatest ally. There's nobody that can be there and support you better than you. And you are already more than enough. That's as simple. You've already came here with the keys, tools, answers, and you already know the answers to the test. Just go ahead and keep moving. So thank y'all for sitting through this episode. Love yourself so you can love others. See you next time. Ashe.